Welcome back to the League of Hustlers, ladies and gentlemen. What are the 5 best ways to get started investing as a beginner? Don't worry, we got you. As always, on the League, the League of Hustlers. I'm your co-host, HT.
I'm CD Barnes.
And this is where we prepare to prosper. All right, we're preparing to prosper. And today we're going to be talking about the 5 easiest ways to get started investing. We get a lot of questions about, like, hey, should I invest in this? Should I invest in that? Should I invest in this? Should I start this? Should I do this? First and foremost, I'm not a financial planner, right? And so I'm not legally able to tell you what to do and give you suggestions on what you should do. But this video is just to go through some of the really easy common platforms that you can get started investing, right? So as a disclaimer, we highly recommend that you consult with a financial planner before making an investment decision, okay? And remember that investing involves risk. Okay. You
Right.
can lose
Key.
all of your money. You can make all of your money back, right? But investing is risky. So make sure you do your research. Make sure you consult with a financial advisor first and foremost. All right. Always. Okay. Why would you go to anyone else for financial advice that's not a financial planner? Okay. So just make sure you do that first and foremost. That's what I did. I'm sure that's what CD did. So make sure you start there. But with no further ado, let's jump right into 5 quick and easy ways to get started investing. Okay. And before we do, I will say that getting started is the key. Okay. Getting started is the key. The quicker that you can get started with these 5 easy investments for beginners, the quicker that you can start building wealth. You got to get started.
Right.
Okay. What's the first one, bro?
100%. Getting started is the key. But number one on the top of this list is get a Robo-Advisor. All right. A Robo-Advisor is an online investment platform that uses algorithms to create and manage your portfolio based on some goals and risk tolerance, things like that you set in the beginning. All right. So you're going to answer a few questions about your objectives. And then basically the Robo-Advisor is going to do the rest of it for you. All right. Now, you may need to go back in and readjust your settings. Don't just set it and forget it. You definitely want to take a look at how it's performing and adjust the settings over time. This is something you can do monthly, quarterly, and there's tons of them out there. All right. So go to Google and just look up Robo-Advisor and see what your options are. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Next up on the list. All right. So
Index funds.
there we go.
Index funds. Next up, right? Index funds are a critical piece to this. Easy, very easy, and critical. Okay. These are low-cost investments that track a particular market index, such as the S&P 500. We've heard of that, right? The S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, right? These are called indexes. And so when you choose an index to invest in, you're basically buying a bunch of those stocks that are considered in the Standard and Poor's 500, right? List of the top 500 stocks. Okay. With the NASDAQ, those are like tech stocks. And so Dow Jones, those are like industrial. And so instead of buying individual stocks, you're buying like groups of stocks. And so the benefit of this is that you are buying all of those stocks as a whole. So if one of them doesn't do well, you have a bunch of other ones that are doing well. Or if a group of them aren't doing well, you still have other ones that are doing well. And so the indexes have, especially the S&P 500, have historically gone up. Okay. And so when you look back over, like years and decades and stuff like that, you'll see a steady incline. Okay. And that is what makes indexes so appealing, right? So, do you have the option to invest in like a Tesla or an Apple individually and that outperform the index? Yes, right? But again, remember what we said at the beginning, investing is risky. That, Apple or Tesla stock also has the you know, ability to go down. We
Right.
hate to see it, but it could happen, right? But when you invest in an index, you're investing in a group as a whole. Think of a bundle of apples, right? A basket of apples, right? If you only, took a chance on one apple, right? You have, the possibility that that could eventually be a bad apple. But if you got a basket of apples, it's okay if one of those apples are bad, right? Because you got a bunch of more apples to choose from. So kind of think of it in that sense. And so some good ones are like the Vanguard VOO, the Vanguard 500 Index Fund. That's another one I think is VFIAX. VTI. Vanguard has some good ones as well as Fidelity and some other ones, and we'll leave some links below. So yeah, check out index funds and ETFs.
All right. Next up on the list, micro investing apps. All right. And now these are apps like Acorns or Stash that allow you to invest small amounts of money on a consistent and regular basis. All right. A lot of these you've probably seen, they use that round up feature that allow you to put your spare change from your store purchases and invest them. So, you go to Target, you spend $19 and you pay, and you can essentially round up to the 20s, $19.01. But the other 99 cents in the dollar, you can choose to invest via one of these apps like Acorn or Stash. I've seen them do a lot of marketing on different platforms. So chances are you've seen one of these. Now, these things actually work. And the key to this is that it's number one, it's easy. You're constantly making purchases. So you're constantly given the opportunity to invest. All right. So you go to the store a few times a week. If you do this make a habit out of doing this on all of your purchases, then you're investing a few times a week. Now, given it may only be, a few cents or dollars at a time, this adds up. And that's kind of the whole point of it. Like H was saying, really at the very beginning of this episode, the key is to get started.
Right.
Don't worry about, whether you have $1,000 or $10,000 to invest in the market. Slow and steady wins the race, and that is very true for investing. And that's kind of the whole point, really, is to
Right.
be able to consistently put money away and that money to compound on itself over time. As long as you keep the money in, reinvest it, and be smart about your choices, you have a chance. You have a chance at generating wealth for yourself, or essentially just saving, a nice retirement fund for yourself by doing this. All right. So micro investing apps. All right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Next up on the list.
Yeah, and like we said, we're gonna leave some links below. Acorns, I use Acorns. Acorns is pretty cool, man. And think of it. One quick thing. I've been noticing. I don't know why lately, but like when you go and buy something out of the store, they'll have a tip jar sitting there, and a
Right.
lot of times people just take the change that they just got and drop it in the tip jar.
Drop it in a tip jar.
Right. It's the same concept. When but it happens when you use your card, right? So when you use your card, you connect your bank account, you use your card, and so you can tell it to round up. They have what's called round
Right.
up, and so when you can tell it to round up, like if you spend $1.20 on something, you can tell it to round up to $2, and so the 80 cents it'll drop into your Acorns account. So definitely check that out. That's really quick and easy to set up, man.
Yep. All right. Next up on the list, target date fund.
Oh yeah. So with your target date funds, they're basically mutual funds that are designed to provide a diversified investment portfolio based on your target retirement date, right? And then this fund is going to adjust its assets and allocation as you get closer to your retirement date. All right. And so these are typically managed either by software or by people. And so you set a date, and as you get closer to that date, the aggressiveness or the moderateness of the investments will start changing. And that basically means that as you get closer to whatever target date you set, let's say you set it for retirement. As you get closer to retirement, it'll start investing in less risky stocks, right? So let's say you're 20 years old and you start investing, right? And then when you're 40 years old, or well, at 20, it invests like pretty riskily, right? Or aggressively. I don't even know if riskly is a word.
Riskily.
It-
Yeah,
you
aggressive. Yeah, you got it.
you invest aggressively, which means you invest in risky stocks. Okay, things that are volatile, things that are going up and going down, right? But they have a high probability to go up. Okay. But as you get closer to retirement, you don't want to take those risks. Okay. And so as you get closer to retirement, you start investing, or the fund starts investing in less aggressive stocks. So things that are stable, like the S&P 500. You see what I'm saying? And even that may be too risky for retirement, right? So it may be in more so like treasuries and bonds and stuff like that. So um, check it out. The target date funds are one of those, like CD was saying, set it and forget it and just let it do its thing.
Right. Last on the list, invest in a retirement account. All right. Now, these are like your traditional, like 401ks, IRA accounts. All right. Now, these are good for beginning your investment journey. Okay. A lot of your employers may offer these. You got your 401ks, your 403bs. You can open an IRA account on your own. And there's a variety of investment options that you can select from in these. And you can even see, and a lot of these, they have those target date calculators on the websites as well. So you can go in and kind of pick a target date. I want to retire by this age or this date, and to kind of project how much maybe you need to be saving. The good thing about these, if you get it through your employer, though, is a lot of times your employer may even match you.
Oh
And
yeah.
this is just an easy way to get into a market. You know what I mean? So essentially, you get paid on Thursday, Friday, and whatever percent it is that you set automatically comes out of your paycheck and automatically goes into that account. Whatever company that it's being managed through, they're managing your portfolio for you based on your risk settings. Whether you're being an aggressive investor or moderate.
Mhm.
Based on whatever profile you set, they're investing. So you basically have a professionally managed investment fund. And again, if your employer is matching you, that's even better, because that's kind of like they're giving you essentially a raise, but the money they're just putting right into your investment account. So I always would recommend, if whatever they match you at whatever percent, you should at least put that much into your account.
Right.
That way you can get every penny that they're matching. So if they say, hey, we'll match you up to 5%, then that means you need to at least do 5%. All right.
Right.
So that's a quick way to just get extra money. And it's going into your investment account. So that's awesome. It'll be available for you. Definitely take advantage of these if you have the opportunity to. And that's it, right? Anything else on the 401ks or?
Yeah, so just to add to that and reiterate, rather, if your employer is matching, definitely get up to
Do
the
it.
matching
Do
amount.
it.
Like, think about it. If you don't do it, it's literally money that you're leaving on the table.
Right.
So if your employer says, "Hey, if you donate 5%, I'll donate 5%,"
Right.
why wouldn't you do it? You know what I
Take it.
mean? And
Adds
the
up quick.
other, you're right. And the other thing, to two more points, just the fact of this is a stream of income. Like, if you think about it, it's very, very passive. Really, all of these are considered passive forms of income, as long as they're growing and as long as you're investing in good portfolios or whatnot. And we have a section inside of the Dream Stream strategy, which helps you break down and allocate the specific amounts of each paycheck or each time you get a lump sum of money that helps you break it down. It's called our budget allocator. Okay. It's in the Dream Stream strategy, the game changing strategy that'll allow you create multiple streams of income. Okay. All of these are passive streams of income, which is where you want to be. This is how you retire on an island. Okay. While your money just makes money in your sleep. Okay. So I just want to reiterate that. And the last point is that with IRAs are great. Okay. IRAs are one of those investment vehicles that you really need to look into. All right. Especially the Roth IRA, because it is like taxed up front. And so you don't get taxed on the end, which is amazing, which means that you tax your money up front, right? So that as the money grows and grows and grows and grows, and then at the end when you're ready to pull it out, you don't get taxed as much. But why? Because you already got taxed on it at the beginning. So definitely look into IRAs. We'll leave some links below. I hope this episode was beneficial to you guys. And yeah, the
Right.
quicker you start, the quicker, the better off you're gonna be.
Right. And I just started this, man. I got one more thing on that 401k
And
though. No,
another thing.
and another thing. Look, I had a guy tell me one time, he said every year, when they get the annual pay raise, that
Mhm.
little one, sometimes, if you don't get the big raise, you only get the little market percent raise, that
Right.
little 1%, 1.5, 2%, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Don't even just add it to that percentage that you're putting in your 401k. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And you know what I mean? You've been at this company now 10 years. You're managing to live off of, your paychecks, and every year bump that percentage up. Maybe you don't do
Wow.
the whole 2% or 5%. Maybe you only do half of it or something
Right.
like that. But either way, that was something, a little nugget somebody shared with me that basically put them on a good path as far as investing. At that point, so, but that's it though.
And isn't it one more thing?
Man, I
Isn't it a limit?
know.
I think it's a limit on the I know it's a limit on the Roth IRA. It's up to like $6,000 a year. So if you can max that out every year, try and max that out. Just a quick note on that.
But yeah, if you haven't already, man, make sure you visit the site. All right, leagueofhustlers.com. Get the Hustler Startup Pack, the free download. We got a lot of great stuff in there. The one-page business plan, the smart goal template.
Oh yeah.
You know, definitely take advantage of these things. This is going to help put you on the path to prosperity, to help launch your side hustles and set up these streams of income. All right. Make sure you head to the site now, leagueofhustlers.com, and download the startup. All right. It's free. It's free.
Oh yeah.
It's free.
Oh
So,
yeah.
all right. That's it, though. We out. Thanks for joining League of Hustlers.
Sure.